Food and Drugs Authority is urging the public to ignore false information being circulated on social media about the safety of some bottled water on the market. Some brands are said to have higher pH levels than others. Let's watch some parts of that video that's been trending.
Test on all these brands on the Ghanaian market, Volvic came last with the lowest pH of 4.0. There's a caveat though, this is flavored Volvic, so chemicals have been added, hence it is acidic, and so the low pH reading of 4.0. And if you look at the color shades here, ranging from deep red into orange into yellow into greenish yellow up, all these ones show that they are very acidic and they are not good for your health. You can also check on the pH.
Well, I'm joined now by Director of Communications for the Food and Drugs Authority, James Lartey. He's here to give us some answers. Is that an extension of your laboratory at the FDA? Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. You've seen this video.
Yes.
And indeed, if you are on group platforms, you realize that people posted there.
Exactly.
And the reactions, you know, people are afraid because of this, because it sounds very convincing. What's wrong with the video that we just saw?
You know, in the first place, let me say that this test that was done looks a bit unprofessional, in the sense that there are current things that people are using to test pH. You understand? And again, I must say that when it comes to issues of pH level, you know, pH is actual fact potential of hydrogen.
Okay.
You understand? And it determines how acidic or alkaline a product may be.
Okay.
No, pH ranges actually from 1 to around 14. 7 they call it neutral. 1 and before 7 is considered acidic. 7 and above, that's above 7, is considered alkaline. When you take in something like orange, the taste of orange is more acidic. When you take mango, mango is more alkaline. You know, it's not biting, as in, you know.
Or even with pineapple.
Exactly. But when it comes to water, we have a range. The range is 6.5 to 8.5. That is the accepted range.
Almost at the neutral points.
The neutral is 7.
But you said 6.5.
6.5 to 8.5, sorry.
Okay.
Is the accepted range for water. That's the standard. So any water on the market whose pH fall within this level of 6.5 to 8.5 is a good product. There's no problem with it.
Okay.
You understand? But what is happening is that some people are trying to promote the fact that if water is has maybe more alkaline in it, it means that it has some health benefits. That's what people are trying to claim now. But that has actually not been established. Though people have tried to bring proof, but internationally, nothing has come out concrete to say that this is an acceptable fact that has some health values. You know, so that's what I can say.
Okay, so the point is that the brands that we have on the market today, all of them, it's not fixed. So you can't say all of them are at 6.5 or 7 or 8, but they range between
6.5 and 8.5.
Okay.
And that is okay.
But what does it mean if you are 6.5 and if you are 8.5? Does that mean anything?
It doesn't mean anything. You see, when the water is below 6.5, we are saying that it's becoming very acidic, and it's not good to consume it. That's below 6.5. If it goes above 8.5, it's becoming too much alkaline, and again, it's not good for the health. So we don't advise people to go in for it. So the point is that FDA ensures that every product, I'm talking about water, on the market falls within this range. And you see, Mama V, the worrying trend is this. It appears of late, maybe you get me angry, I find something about you, put it on social media, people begin to spread it, and the people believe that once it's on social media, it's true. And that is what FDA is worried about, not just about this water. But that's what FDA is worried about.
But you are the regulator. We'll come to the fact that you can't just be worried just like the rest of us, but because you are the regulator, you should be able to do something about it. But let me ask, have you had cause to withdraw some product from the market in terms of water because they fall below the standard range that you've given, the 6.5 to 8.5?
So far, we have not. When people come to FDA, let's say to come and register their water, we allow them to go through some tests at Water Research Institute. They can sometimes take it to Ghana Standard Authority. We also do a check to confirm what we are receiving from the third party, that's third laboratory. Now, what happens is that when we notice that your product, not only the pH, we check so many things, but when we notice that any of the parameters fall outside the accepted range, what we do is that we reject the application and we ask you to go and reformulate and bring new samples. Now, that will tell you that then there's a possibility that when the product is given an approval, the wrong thing may be on the market.
How is that?
You know, they just bring samples. It's the samples that we use to give approval. It's the samples that will go to the lab. After that, they go again to manufacture. So, you know, anything could happen. And because of that, FDA does what we call PMS, post-market surveillance, where we pick randomly samples of any of the products that we regulate from the market. Then we take it back to the lab to confirm. If you can remember, I think about 2-3 years ago, FDA issued a press statement about some 6 herbal medicines that were banned. What happened? These herbal medicines were given approval because they were okay. But later, through our PMS activities, we noticed that they've introduced a new chemical into the product that's not supposed to be in the product.
So is that to say that you don't have any checks at the point of manufacture?
We do. Sometimes we can go there. You know,
but that's just sometimes. It's not. It's not.
No,
fixed.
but
it's still the random.
Yes.
Okay.
It's still the random.
So my point is that is there a mechanism that checks that at all times you have the right products going out there? That's a no.
No, that's the PMS that we do. You see,
but you said the market, surveillance. So I'm trying to understand how somebody's product comes to your end in this
in a good state.
Exactly. You pass it, and then the next time we find that same product on the market, it contains
something
things
else
that you have not approved.
Mama, you see, the point is that when you bring it for approval, you just bring samples to us. You understand? Good. After the sample, you now go into manufacture. That's when we give you approval and bring the product onto the market. So you may decide that you are introducing something into the product. And that's what I'm saying that.
Is that standard practice? Is that worldwide practice?
No. It can be done anywhere. That is why all over the world, they are checking issues of what we call substandard, falsified products. You understand? Maybe counterfeit, fake, and all those. They are checking them because people can register products and later reintroduce a different one onto the market. All over the world, it is done.
But that's not right. That's illegal.
Yes. That is why you should have system in place, because you understand that
what kind of system? I wonder, because the point is that the Food and Drugs Authority, you are the only regulator that we have in this sense. You've got the Standards Authority also doing their bits, but directly this is your responsibility.
Agreed.
And you've given somebody the license. You've checked, you've ticked, and you've checked, and you say, go ahead and go and produce this. But are you leaving it so? Is it more like you're trusting the person to do the right thing? Because there are no ways of checking at the points of manufacture that indeed this person has done the right thing, and that is what's going on to the market.
Marvy, if we go into the factory and whilst they are manufacturing, you check and you leave there, something can come onto them.
But is that what you do? Is that what you do? Because my understanding is they bring the samples,
yes,
and then they go out there and you, after you give them the go ahead, they go ahead and produce.
Let me explain the full process to you. In the full process, before we give you approval, apart from the samples that you bring, officers give approval to your facility. So they come into the factory to give approval.
So how can it happen then?
Yes.
That's something that you have approved, you've ticked and you've checked. What we find on the market afterwards is not one that has been approved.
What you are saying can be stopped only if, for instance, let me pick Mamavi Manufacturing Company. FDA says that we are putting a staff there to be there 24 hours every time with you. That is what you are suggesting.
Okay, so let me ask you
but
this.
it's not possible.
Have you found anybody
Yes.
culpable of this?
Oh, we have.
Okay, so the next question is, what's been the sanction? What have you done to such a person? Because we have to find a more deterrent way so that everybody will be scared. If the regulator finds me do this, that's the end of my business. I mean, that's the only language that anybody would understand, so they don't repeat it.
I don't want to mention names, but Mamavi,
but you have to.
We have
people are putting videos out there, and people's brands are being messed up.
We have closed down facilities in this country, and we issue press statements that we have closed down these facilities. What happened? Because we found these things there. We have withdrawn market authorization for companies.
But directly related to this subject, have you closed anybody down?
Oh, we have.
Because you've got to send the strongest signal to anybody who wants to repeat same.
I re-mention a company that we have closed down, that now is open and is operating, it gives a negative. That's why I don't want to mention names. But what I want to understand is that we have closed down factories in this country. We have. If it currently, as we are speaking.
But if it's still happening, then it means that what you're doing is not effective enough.
No, it's not effective. When you go to the industries, you can do your own checks. They will tell you how much they give so much value and quotes to FDA because they know that we'll go on the market at any time. They don't know when we are moving.
Do you know the people behind the video that we saw a while ago? Do you know the people who okay?
So there's a suspicion, but I cannot confirm.
But FDA is certainly concerned.
Oh, we are.
So what are you doing to counter that? Because these are people's products.
We issued a press statement on that.
Is that enough?
And that's why I'm in your studio today, to explain, to let people understand.
But that video sought to promote
some
certain brand. Shouldn't you hold them responsible for that?
Well, we are doing 1 or 2 checks on that. You see, I don't want to.
So where are we with the checks?
I don't want to come out with
Where are we
everything.
with the checks? Because the point is that, I mean, people spread all sorts of things. Somebody mentioned to me that a brand that I like is making her feet swell. You know, weird things that people say. And unfortunately, they kind of spread the message and people get it.
Yes.
So we are expecting a swift response to the video that we've seen, because the video is still out there.
Yes. But Mamavi, you know, that is why FDA put out a press statement, and I've been on a lot of stations talking on this. But you see, aside that, our concern is this. We must come to the point of understanding that it's not everything that is put on social media that is true.
Okay, we'll have to leave it here. Mr. James Lartey, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Communications Director, the Food and Drugs Authority.